The following is a pre-recorded conversation between two siblings and is filled with personal opinions and biases. It should not be taken seriously by anyone. Viewer discretion is advised.
You'll never understand it ever. Yeah, so basically he's like, so this is Massimo. You remember him from when you guys were kids?
And he's like, your head was way
too big for your body.
And you were scrawny and something. And then she was like, he used to eat dirt.
Yeah. So she doesn't see anything when she looks at him.
Oh, yeah, when she tells Judy Greer, like, he used to ask me if I had a vagina.
He's following around asking me constantly if I had a vagina.
But then, honestly, I was just like, why are you still holding that against him? Like, he was just a curious kid, which is what Judy Greer was saying at the time. When I first saw that I remember thinking, that's really weird to ask somebody if they have a vagina. But then again, it's like, he was a child.
He was
like,
a child.
He knows you have a vagina now.
Yeah,
if he asked you now, that's weird.
Yeah. But I mean, if that's like your only memory of somebody being like, so do you have a vagina? Do you have a vagina? Do you have a vagina?
And be like, I'm not sure anymore.
Oh, it's so funny. So, but the thing is that I kind of like, I think Massimo is so charming.
He's super charming, and he's kind of very innocent too. Like he's that very innocent quality. He kind of reminds me of like puppy dog love.
Yeah,
he's got puppy eyes for her.
I think it's also
mainly because she's older and she's J-Lo.
Yeah, she's older, she's J-Lo, and I think that he hadn't experienced what love is yet.
No, he's just like, oh, she's willing to marry me. Like
she's gorgeous. She's willing to marry me. She's American.
I feel like I get passport.
Right, passport. I think that's a big thing too. So like, there's a bunch of things that makes her like just perfect for him. So I mean, he doesn't really.
Plus, like they grew up together.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a trust there in the family, so it makes sense. And then from there, is that where the horseback riding scene comes in? Yeah.
So they end up going to like a vineyard all together, like right after JLo decides that she's a professional and that she can handle this being around a guy that's like essentially jilted her
and marrying her biggest client ever. And someone who's also reaching out to her as a friend. Like, you could tell the entire time Fran is, like, trying to get more personal with J-Lo. Like,
I think that's also just to show what a gem Fran is, though.
Yeah, I don't think she's a good girl.
She's a real good girl.
She's a hard worker. That's
why they don't make her out to be a villain. I don't know where you're getting that from.
I thought she was the villain from the beginning. Like, she's in the middle. She's trying to get in between them.
I think that's just your preconceived rom-com notions, because this whole time they're making Fran out to be the coolest person.
See, she used to be a bookie.
She's running a company. She literally says to JLo at one point, "I'm thinking of starting up a medical trust thing for him,
and I want him to head it up
because I think he'd be cute as a CEO. What do you think?"
Yeah,
like that is some power and that is some money.
Yeah,
she's hashtag girl boss. Like she's amazing the whole time, and she's a great character, but that's why J-Lo thinks she's doing the right thing when she pushes her to stay with them.
But it's not the right thing, because if someone doesn't love, like, honestly, if you're questioning it, if you're getting cold feet like that, please just don't get married.
Well, yeah, but that's based on the individual to choose. From J-Lo's perspective, he doesn't want to be with her. He says repeatedly to her face that he wants to be with Fran. That Fran is the girl he wants. That maybe she's right. Maybe she's seen this happen before. Maybe he got cold feet. Maybe he felt an attraction. Okay? Maybe that's what happened, okay? But it doesn't mean...
All right.
It doesn't mean he's going to act on it. It doesn't mean he's going to do anything about it. I mean, by them pretending like nothing's happening, they are acknowledging it. And I get that from the person who's currently in a relationship. That's like the worst kind of cheating that can happen.
Yes.
But coming from the outside perspective of her, they haven't done anything technically.
It seems understandable.
Yeah, they haven't done anything technically. He didn't do anything wrong. Like, what is, like, he's literally about to get married to this person. People freak out sometimes, and as long as nobody finds out, then there's nothing wrong.
Yeah, but except for the fact that once she gets drunk and then he's taking care, Matthew McConaughey's character is taking care of J-Lo in her apartment, he then says, I'm going to leave her, like, I want you, like, she's just a poor man's Mary, because she's talking about Wendy, which is the supermodel pregnant wife of her ex, and saying that he like, I'm just a poor man's Wendy, and he flips it around on her pretty much word for word, like, look how articulate I am and stuff. It's like, it's so frustrating. It's so frustrating because then he's like, I want to be with you instead, and she's like, no, you're marrying someone else, like, I have a thing for unavailable men. And then that's when we see Fran freak out and saying that she doesn't really want to get married, that she doesn't know if he's the only one that she wants to sleep with for forever. And then Mary throws out that bullshit speech at her, the one that we see in the beginning, that she said, you are exquisite.
Okay. So this is the thing. So at this moment in time, right, being J-Lo, you get drunk because you literally just saw the guy that wrecked the shit out of your life being happy and living his best life.
Yes.
Right? And you know there's something missing in yours because you've been like in this crazy messy situation where you might be the other woman, right? So she's legitimately like drinking. Like,
yes.
She's rock bottom at this point, and
she is rock bottom,
and she's drunk and she's sensitive. And in this moment, when he comes back and he's like, "You're gorgeous. You're the one. I know the curves of your face. I know all this." He's saying all the right things to her face, and she's like, "No, no." She cuts it off right then and there. She tells him, "This isn't ever gonna happen, because I respect Fran. I know Fran, and I would never do this bullshit to her."
But you should also tell her. You should be telling Fran.
She can't tell Fran because of her position as her boss. Fran is her boss.
Yeah.
J-Lo cannot lose this account. In this moment, she chooses
her career
over love, which is what she's been doing the entire movie. Because nothing's happened yet. He's come at her and she's done the right thing. She shut the door, right? And she's regretting it. She's thinking all the stuff. She comes in the next day. She thinks that legitimately they got caught. That maybe because she rejected it, maybe he went to go tell Fran what happened. And she's like, you think I would be blind to not see it?
Yeah, because Fran comes in hot.
Yeah, Fran comes in really hot. So she's like, look, just let me apologize first, because like she can't lose the account, right? And when she finds out that it's just the same bullshit that brides go through all the time, it's just the jitters. She gives that speech that she gives to all the brides that have the jitters, that literally the movie opens with.
Yeah.
But this time, as she says it, she's feeling the weight of each word she's saying.
Yes.
And she's realizing how shitty it is to say this to someone.
Yes, to say it to someone and to know the backstory. You know, she knows their marriage isn't going to last.
She absolutely knows it. But at this point, she's doubling down.
Yeah, she's doubling. It's like that kid who lied to his parents and is caught and is still lying just to hold on to it. Yeah,
not to hold on to it, but to hold on to what she thinks, because she cannot be the other woman. She
already is.
She's not going to acknowledge it yet. So as she's saying this, J-Lo delivers the best line delivery, where she's like half crying, half customer service smile, and she tells her all of this stuff, which makes you think that she's just being really emotional about it.
Yeah.
But she's really realizing what she's saying to her in this moment. But once she does that, she closes the door.
Yeah, she closes that door and completely full on commits to the Massimo thing.
Yeah, it fully commits to him. Says yes when he proposes to her.
She says okay.
Yeah, she does. She does say okay.
I shouldn't even say it. She spells it out on a Scrabble board.
Yeah, she does. Mm-hmm. Well, it's because it's still hard for her after
be like, that's the vibe I got.
Well, I mean, that's the thing, is that so not only at this moment is she choosing her work and her career over love, but then she's also being presented with what love has been for people in the past. Love that's been successful. Love that's not necessarily built on immediate romantic interest, but one that's built over time.
And trust.
Yeah, and trust. And Massimo's speech, oh my God.
And the fact that he built that house
he knows her. They have history. He's pretty cute. And he literally says to her, I mean,
I don't want you to worry about anything.
I don't want you to worry about anything. I will do everything in my power to make you as happy as possible.
Which is such a nice thing to say.
Yeah, he's like, you may not love me yet, but I love you, and I will never let you go a day without feeling that love.
Which is all anyone wants.
That's literally the base minimum for a relationship.
Yeah, I just want you to I just want to feel loved,
I just want to feel loved, and I just want to be happy. it. If you can do that, we're golden, you know?
See, and that's so hard.
It's so hard to do.
It's so hard to find it.
Yeah, right? And he's literally saying, I will do anything for you. If you say yes, you'll make me the happiest guy ever. It's like, okay. In that moment, I'm like, yeah, check please. Matsumo's fine, yeah. Especially after everything she just went through with a literal asshole who's like cheating or trying to cheat on his fiance and putting her through that ringer. Matsumo's like just the balm she needs, you know? So it's just like, it's like at that moment she knew everything that she wanted to do. Her whole life was like chosen. She's like, I'm gonna choose the guy who's going to love me, the guy that's available, you know?
Yeah. And then the movie does a montage
It
of
does.
her planning her own. No, it's that one song because I wrote it down.
Which one?
It says saying, "How can I plan on forever?"
That's when she's actually at the courthouse though, about to get married.
No,
there.
and that's also like she's picking out her wedding dress. She's getting her thing on.
Because the thing is that she goes like you see the montage. She signs the agreement, so she gets partner right at the thing. The wedding's about to go through. She's at the wedding. She's like, I don't need to fucking be here. She takes off her utility belt and passes it on to her friend.
Judy Greer.
Yeah, because she just wants to get out of there. She's done. She's fulfilled.
She checked out.
Her bare minimum. She's got her position. She's out.
Yeah,
You
she's
know?
like, I don't even want the commission.
No,
I'm gonna give it to my friend.
I don't want anything from this. This was shit. I'm finally free, you know. And she goes to the courthouse to go get.
Definitely Friday vibes. She had Friday vibes.
I don't know what that means.
You know when you're at work and you're like, it's
check
Friday.
Friday. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And then she goes to the courthouse. She has a very simple dress.
A very classic veil.
Yeah, but the one thing that really bothered me is that when she's like getting ready to get married, and I mean, well, I'm jumping ahead. Honestly, we like Steve and Fran's marriage does not go through.
No, so like J-Lo books it to go to
her own wedding.
Her own wedding, right? And then
because you know it has to be on the same day.
Well, yeah, because I feel like she feels like if she doesn't do it, then she's never gonna do it, right? Like that's her jump in the broom moment. You know, this is it. This is what I'm gonna do.
Maybe she should have done it the day before.
You know, maybe she should have done it the day before, but that's not romantic comedy.
Yeah,
it needs to fill the system. There is a slot in every romantic comedy.
There's a formula that we need to be following, and that would be outside of the formula.
Yeah, right. It has to be on the same day. Okay.
Goddamn day.
So Matthew McConaughey goes in to see Fran, and
before the wedding, while she's in her dress, and
yeah. But the thing is that I super appreciate what he does there, because I feel like before getting married, you know, before like they haven't signed the marriage certificate, they haven't done anything yet. I wanna see that person before we start the ceremony. I'm gonna be like, are you in this? If you're in this, we're doing this. But if you're not in this, I don't want to do this, because this is our last shot. This is the last chance. It's now or never. I need that moment, because if we can't pass that moment, we would have never succeeded.
Honestly, I feel like he's just passing the buck. He was honestly just being like, I'll do it if you're gonna do it, but if you don't want to do it, then let's not do it. Like he didn't want to get married.
Okay, and I believe that his character.
I feel like he was trying to get her to say that she didn't want to get married.
Look, I totally see where that comes from, but I think that from, like, if I was Matthew McConaughey and I have to be this character, I think the mental gymnastics that character is telling themselves is true in that moment. He's looking at her, he's like, look, like this you are a good option. You are a stable option. You're beautiful. Like you're rich. Like there's all this stuff. Like we can get married today. If you want to do this, I mean, all the shit that I've just done, I will marry you right here and right now if you want to do this. But if there's a possibility that you don't, just the slightest possibility that you don't, let's not. You know?
But it's like, how can the other person say yes when brought that option?
Because that is standard love. That's like normal, what everyday people have love. That's not, the fairy tale love is the J-Lo love. You know, it's like kind of like in Twilight. The Edward love is the fairy tale love. The Jacob love is supposed to be the real love, you know? Yeah. So she is the real thing. He will be happy with her. I mean, for a time. Before he, like, needs to sow his oats or some bullshit.
Like, kill himself.
Yeah, but, like, on paper, she's perfect.
Yeah.
But she's not everything
For him.
Yeah, he's not like she's not the color in his world, but she's good. She's stable. She's better than what most other people will ever get in their life.
I just don't ever want to hear somebody tell me that.
Yeah, but
Ever.
I mean, that's like that's what people look for when they're dating. That they want the good on paper person.
Yeah, I mean, but I'd be like, I'm not marrying someone because they're good on paper. Like, I'm marrying them because I love them.
But I mean, realistically, though,
love is real. Like, it's real. J-Lo love is real. It's like, wait. When you know, you know. Like,
Yeah.
and he didn't know, so it wasn't.
yeah. But
right.
if he had never met J-Lo, he would have never even had those qualms. He would have never had qualms, babe.
No qualms.
No qualms.
Maybe, but maybe not.
So
Mary's getting married,
yeah, Mary's getting married.
and Fran and Steve are not.
Yeah, right. So Steve, so basically, Fran's like, yeah, I don't really want to get married to you. I had cold feet earlier. I should have trusted my gut.
Yeah, instead of listening to a crying J-Lo.
Right, a super crying J-Lo.
Saying that just when did we drift apart and what happened to us and blah blah blah. But you could tell that they had a lot of like friend vibes at the end.
They did. They had friend vibes. But also, remember, she would say shit like she didn't like how he hiked up his leg after he ate too much.
But then it's like, what's happening with your leg?
Well, I think that maybe when he eats things that are really, really salty, maybe he gets like swollen feet. So
Only on one side?
Well, like maybe one of his feet gets more swollen than the other, so he hikes up the pant leg so it doesn't get too tight.
Only one side?
Maybe. You don't know. People got issues.
That's true. People do got issues.
People got issues. Everybody's different.
That's
so,
true.
Yeah, I mean, she didn't like those things about him. But, I mean, there's things like that in everybody that people just don't really like. And she'd been with him forever, right? Since
True.
college.
And she only named like 3 things. I feel like since college, that's like 10 years together. Like, and you still only annoyed by 3 things?
Yeah, but, I mean, those are 3 things that she's never going to get over.
Never gonna get over.
She's been with him this long, and there's still 3 things that that would be deal breakers if she met them with anybody else in the future.
That's true.
like it's kind of like a base incompatibility, but you would still be like semi-happy. You'd be happier than a lot of people are on this earth if you say yes to this person. It's like accepting a B when you know that there's an A+ out there, but because you're scared that if you
won't find that
you
A+.
won't ever get that A+, and you're going to end up with like a D or a C. Or God forbid an F.
I feel like don't settle. You will get your A+ if you wait for it, or you go look for it. Like, just do you. You do you, and
Yeah,
your
but I
A+ will come to you.
But of all the people on this planet, I mean, people are dying every day of car accidents, of COVID. Look at an asteroid could hit the world tomorrow. There are people where if they died literally today, so many regrets, so many things that they didn't do will never have been accomplished. There's people who have died, obviously, single. There's like most people who are like murdered.
That's just your journey.
Yeah, but that's what that means, that there are some people who will never have that love. There are people
They weren't
in
meant
this
to.
world.
They weren't meant to. Something else will happen later on down the line.
What if that person's life just never happened? They just got dealt a shit hand, died in a car accident when they were like 18, 19.
Their afterlife is gonna be bomb. It's gonna be banging.
Some people don't believe in an afterlife.
Nah, it's all the good place. They're gonna have lifetimes to be together.
I'm just saying, not everybody
It's
gets.
like Eleanor and Chidi, where they find each other after.
It's that whole "is it better to have loved and lost than never to have loved at all" thing. It's like, well, yeah, because at least then you got to experience love at some point in your life.
You got to be open, but like you can't just settle knowing that it's not right.
But most people do.
Yeah.
Because they're not
People
going to get
suck.
any better. But well, yeah, the majority of people suck. So the majority of people,
Like, it averages out.
yeah, right. You just hope that the people that suck get paired off together.
I guess that the one thing that really bothers me though about Mary's her own like marriage and then surprise not marriage is the fact that she doesn't even get to make decisions for herself when it's like not she wasn't even the catalyst to not get married once she had already decided.
Oh, you mean
It was everyone else around her. First her dad and the random old black guy and then the old white lady. And then they were like, "Oh, thank God, someone said something." It's like, "Oh, y'all pushed her to do this." And now when she's made their decision and she's stuck her heels in, now you guys are like, "No, we've decided it isn't right for you."
I think that's the plight of every busybody. They want to tell them what they can and can't do. They want to be a part of the life. They want to live vicariously through this young girl who's about to get married. And then they're seeing that this young girl is about to get married. And they're like,
"Oh, she listened to us."
Yeah, oh no, she listened to us. Maybe, that's what happens to every busybody.
But then she doesn't get married because, they told her not to get married after
she
they told her to
gave
get
the
married.
most heartbreaking speech in front of the person that she's about to get married to. How would you feel being Massimo in that second?
You are Steve. You are the one.
I'm not the one. You are the one. Stupid Italian accent.
It's French. I don't know.
No, but that's the whole thing. Is he's sitting there, and English may not be his first language, character-wise, but he understands when she's saying love's not some fairy tale. You don't get everything you want. You really want somebody to talk about you like that?
No.
Yeah. Exactly.
That is exactly why I said with Steve and Fran, that I don't want someone telling me you're pretty good. I'll get married if you want to get married.
Yeah, but that's the thing. Everybody in her family, including Massimo, were all being busybodies, all telling her what she should be feeling in that moment.
And then they told her you shouldn't want to get married now.
Yeah, because it's that last second.
We know what's best for you.
It's that last second guilt of if she's doing this because we told her to, not because she wants to. It's that last second guilt of a busybody. It's like, oh no, she's actually going to listen.
It's like they made the decision for her.
Exactly. So if anything goes wrong, they're the ones to blame. If she has an unhappy life, it's on all of them.
It's still on all of them because then they told her not to do it.
Well, telling her not to do it's the busybody backing out.
And then be like, nope.
Exactly, right? I'm washing my hands of this. I don't want to be the reason why she's unhappy. Especially when you're getting bad vibes. So I think that's the whole thing. So she ends up not getting married. But she was also I feel like J-Lo went through the ringer in this movie.
Yeah. It was tough. In general, I didn't realize it was so fraught to be a wedding planner.
Yeah. But honestly, she didn't have to be a wedding planner. The fact that she was a wedding planner gave her
access to the bride and the groom.
Forced a lot of the angst, which, we all like to eat up, nom, 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 nom.
Also pretty surroundings.
Yeah, and the beautiful pseudo dates, because they're not real dates. They're just going flower picking for the wedding, and they're looking at statues with tiny penises for the wedding.
That Matthew McConaughey gets stuck to.
Mm-hmm. But honestly, that's exactly how I would react. How Matthew McConaughey reacts in that situation is how I would react in that situation. Yeah. But honestly, I don't think that guard would have kicked them out or anything, because the people who can afford to buy those statues wouldn't give a shit if they broke one. The type of privileged person that we're dealing with in this movie,
who buys a statue for an event,
for a temporary wedding in the park.
Yeah,
they had to build everything and break it all down, one foam statue or whatever, because it falls over way too easily for it to be pure ass cement,
Yeah.
And if it was cement, he would have crushed Matthew McConaughey. I know he's super buff, but it would have legit crushed him from the weight. Yeah. So it's that they're not the real statues. They're just looking like it. So having the penis pop off, it's you're gonna have to pay for the statue. That's about it. That's what I see. A lot of this movie is just rich people privilege.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Super, super rich people, super white, super male. So a lot of masculine toxicity.
Oh yeah. Oh my gosh. You know what bugged me? That scene with him and Massimo on the back of his scooter with the just married thing going through the gay pride parade.
Yeah.
That bugged me. Because it's they're treating it like a joke.
Yeah, it's a joke. It was a joke to them. The only I think respite for that scene is the fact that neither Massimo or McConaughey gave off vibes that it was wrong or bad. A lot of the time, with friends, with Chandler and Joey and Ross, they're super homophobic.
Oh yeah, and they'll check each other.
And they'll be like, I don't want to look gay or appear gay.
Yeah, or when Ben wanted that Barbie doll and he goes, no, G.I. Joe. Yeah, like
which-
that whole stupid toxicity shit.
Yeah, so, but there wasn't really anything, they didn't care what people thought, really, when they were
Yeah, but
in
it
the
was still
parade.
presented as,
it's a
isn't this
joke.
funny? It's because he's wearing the bridal helmet.
Yeah,
and it
which,
says just
why
married.
not? His curls look amazing, and it with that veil.
Right? And they're in San Francisco.
I would have been so mad, because honestly, was he planning on having J-Lo on that scooter? Mm-hmm. I don't think, no.
I mean, I think it's kind of cute.
It is
Her
cute,
Massimo's
but
pretty cute.
J-Lo's so type A.
She is. She
But-
would never have gone home
That
on
her
that scooter.
No, she would have walked home.
Yeah, she called a taxi. Like, I'm not going on that scooter.
She vacuums her curtains.
She does. She vacuums her curtains. It's so fucking weird.
She's super uptight. So it's just like,
I found a GQ interview with Jennifer Lopez where she broke down her most famous characters, and one of them was from Wedding Planner, and she said that she wanted her to be super stuck up, like super like type A personality when she was doing it. So it's like there was like another one where she was talking about how she was actually following around wedding planners, and then there was one that would like write little hearts and little notes and like do little cute things like that, and she thought that was adorable, so she like based the character around it.
that's cute.
Right?
I actually saw something where it was a bunch of like wedding planner horror stories.
What?
Yeah, just because I was looking for behind the scenes and could not find anything.
Yeah, that's what, because we found like an Entertainment like Tonight,
Which
19
was-
years later.
Like nothing was on that.
Yeah, and then that's when I found the GQ one where it's like J-Lo breaks down her most iconic roles, and I'm like, yes, please.
Nah, instead I was like, I just want to see what happened, like what awful shit happened to different wedding planners. From like pretty much the in-laws buying flowers a whole different color than the color scheme that the bride wanted, and told the planner, oh no, I want yellow, and then the bride calling saying like, no, you can't have yellow, the whole thing is violet, like I don't want yellow, and then they're like, don't worry, we're not gonna listen to your mother-in-law, like this is your wedding, you're paying for it. And then the day of the wedding, yellow flowers show up from a different vendor, like tons and tons of yellow flowers, and I was like, dang, that sucks. And then another story about the groom not trying on his suit once he picked it up from the tailor. Like literally didn't try it on until the wedding day, and realized on the wedding day it was the wrong suit because it didn't fit.
Wow.
And then they had to scramble, go find him another
What about
suit.
the dress rehearsal? There's always a dress rehearsal.
I guess that they didn't have one. It was until the wedding. They're like, you didn't try on your suit? Like, you didn't? And he's like, no. Like, you didn't notice that this is a different color?
To be fair,
Dude. But then when they took him to the mall to find him a replacement suit, he was so particular. And they were like, we do not have time. Like, your wedding is like in less than an hour. Like, no one's looking at you.
maybe he shouldn't have gotten married.
Very true. Very
Maybe
true.
that was his cry for help.
Yeah. Like
None of these suits are right. None of these suits are right.
true. Like, I wanted pink.
Yeah, so. Yeah, that was the wedding planner.
Yeah.
That was-
It's tough life.
It is a tough life.
Yes. Go watch it.
Such a good movie.
See.
J-Lo's the best. What was your favorite part?
Probably that song. Just hearing. I didn't even know who was singing it, but it kind of sounded like a Britney mimic, you know? Where it was like, how can I plan on forever?
Really?
Yeah, like, I was just like, ah. It made me cry. Like,
Honestly, I thought the music in the movie was so dated.
it was so
didn't-
nostalgic. It made me, like, just get
Okay,
chills.
There's a fine line between dated and nostalgic. I heard it and I was like, 90.
And I was like, oh, 90s.
Yes, I was like,
I miss the 90s.
Yeah, I mean, it kind of took me out of some of the scenes when that, like, came in, and you're like, oh, shit. Here comes the 90s ballad, you know? But then right at the end, when the credits rolled in, my love don't cost a thing, pulls up, you're like, ooh.
And then it goes to the
Yeah.
end with like fairy tale writing, and I was like, oh, yeah, it kind of is a fairy tale, but it's not. But it's horrible. I hope that none of this happens to me.
Yeah, I mean, it's horrible to Fran, but I mean, I think it's pretty standard because that's how people act, you know? And the thing is, if you want to be friends with somebody of the opposite sex, people are going to get the wrong idea all the time. especially if you have a flirty personality.
Yeah, stop flirting. Stop being flirty.
Some people have a naturally flirty personality,
Uh-huh.
and it gets taken the wrong way sometimes. Okay? I'm just saying. Just saying.
Like, no one's judging here.
No one's
Just
judging.
stop flirting with other people's mains.
It's not flirting. It's called good customer service. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I hear you do give real good customer service.
Yeah, I give the best customer service. Yeah, I do. Yeah.
Tattletale.
We're not going into this. Is about J-Lo. We're not going to
J-Lo's
detract.
cheese man.
Yeah, we're not going to detract from that. Thank you very much.
Well, it's definitely one of my favorites, and even though we totally disagree on whether or not these people are shit.
Well, that's the thing. I don't think that J-Lo's shit. I think that Matthew McConaughey is just a dude that's confused. And I think that Fran's just put in a bad situation, but she doesn't come across as a villain. I don't get where you get that from.
I thought she was the villain for years. Like, she totally, very, very much, like, businesswoman Barbie, like, trying to, like, get in between them and trying to fake be her friend. Like, for the longest time, that's how I viewed her until this last viewing that I had. And I was like, Fran's cool. Fran's really cool.
That sounds like a you
Nah,
issue.
it's the patriarchy. I'm blaming the patriarchy.
That sounds like a you issue.
Like, turning women against each other. That's what's happening. That's what happened.
Did they? Did they really, though?
Yes, because it's embedded. all of our own, we have our own misogyny that we all need to unpack, and that was, I felt like, something that I needed to unpack.
I never really saw it like that. So, like, and then I remember you saying, "Oh, saying it now, all these people are shit." So I sit down to watch it, and I literally turned to Mom while we're watching. And I was like, "Oh, we're about to have words," because these people aren't shit. They're just people. They're flawed individuals. Yeah. That's all they are.
Yes, they all suck, and they.
Yeah, and the whole thing is that the movie.
Karma's a bitch.
The movie is telling you not to give up on fairy tale love. I feel like that's what the whole point of it is. It's like, yeah, you could settle for normie love, but who wants to do that when there's J-Lo?
Well, I feel like you could have done all of that without trying to also hold on to your regular love at the same time. Like, trying to keep your options open is, like, the worst thing.
But you need the chisme for the romantic comedy. You can't have romantic comedy without it.
Yeah, that's the part where they lose me, where it's just like that, where they all suck.
I mean, they're people.
People suck.
People are flawed.
The wedding planner, people suck.
Wedding planner, they're not that bad. Sometimes you'll get a J-Lo. But I really understood where her character was coming from, where his character was coming from.
No, but even, like, talking to you about it, I've gotten a little more empathy for everybody.
Yeah.
But I still feel like
salty?
nobody went about it the right way.
Maybe because you're identifying with Fran. You identify
Yes.
hard with Fran, and you're like, these bitches.
These bitches!
These bitches. No loyalty.
For real. These bitches throwing out the colorful M&Ms. Like, what the hell?
I know, right?
Those are the best M&Ms. No one eats the fucking brown ones.
No one likes the brown M&Ms.
No one likes the brown M&Ms.
No one likes the brown M&Ms.
That sounds racist.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much.
We do love brown M&Ms.
So, Jaxxon, what do you like?
Well, that was quick.
Yeah, I mean, I gotta ask you first.
Mine's actually not necessarily a likey because I have not tried it yet, but more of a curious-y.
A curious.
A curious-y. Because I'm more curious about it, but since I'm a broke-ass bitch, I can't get it, so can't likey it because I don't know.
Okay.
And I saw these weighted blankets. You reminded me.
Oh, weighted blankets.
And they're so expensive.
They are.
And I'm like,
we sell weighted blankets.
Is it so comfortable, like, and soothing to have a weight on you as a blanket?
No, the reason why it's so expensive is because of the weights in the blanket. So it's going to cost more to ship and everything because of how heavy it is, you know. And that means that it's going to have a lot more material put into it than like a normal blanket.
Yeah.
But the thing is, I don't really like weighted blankets.
Well, you also are claustrophobic, so I don't think that'll work.
Claustrophobic.
Claustrophobic. But I don't know. I'm very curious about how it would feel underneath a blanket that weighs me down.
It's all right.
And I saw this one brand that doesn't actually put weights in the blanket. What they do is that their material is
nail
woven.
The blanket down around you, and it just pushes against
No,
you
it's made out of a really dense woven soft material. So it's like braided, and that's where it gets the weight from, is the way that the blanket's braided.
You want to know what a weighted blanket feels like? If you go underneath your comforter, and then somebody, imagine like laying underneath your comforter, right? Somebody throws a towel on you. And then the laundry finishes, so they toss all the laundry on top of you. And then, like, let's just say for shits and giggles that you also you washed, like, one of your faux fur blankets that day, and they just put that on top. So that feeling of that light pressure spread throughout your body, that's what it's like.
I think I would fall asleep immediately.
Yeah, most people do. Most people aren't like me and go, I need to be free, you know? So
I know my boyfriend kicks up the corners of the bed because he cannot
can't
handle it being tucked in, and I'm like, I tucked it in.
Yeah, so
I like it to be tucked in, and I like to be taut because I like that pressure with my feet. I like that crisp feeling of a made bed. And then he's like kicking it up. But like George status on Seinfeld, where he's just kicking it, trying to get it up.
Well, I mean, sometimes your feet just need to be free. You just need to be free, babe.
Now I'm really curious, but these weighted blankets are fucking expensive.
Oh, they're so expensive. Let me know if you, or you know what, I can probably grab one for you from work. You know, employee discount. Ooh. Yeah.
So what do you like, Squid?
That's a loaded question. What is it about life that we don't like?
Oh my god. You had all of my likey to think of a likey.
I know, but the thing is, I'm scared I'm going to do a likey we've already done before.
No one cares.
I care.
No.
I don't want to do another likey.
No, because if you still likey it, then that's like a double endorsement likey. It gets like extra stars.
You know what? I likey Crunchyroll. That's what I'm gonna do. Anime. What's up? Yeah.
Is that a platform?
Yeah, Crunchyroll is an anime streaming service. Yeah, and I've been watching a lot of shows on it, like Jujutsu Kaisen. You're so good, right? Oh, Attack on Titan came back, but it's just in Japanese.
So I gotta wait for the dub.
Yeah, because see, Jackson doesn't watch anime, but she watches Attack on Titan. So it's done by a new production company this time around, though.
So is the animation going to be a little different?
It's going to be slightly different, but from what I've heard from people talking about the first episode, because at this time only the first episode's been released, it's not bad at all. It didn't take a dip in quality.
That's good.
Yeah, but this is the point in the anime now when you were asking me when I was reading the manga, when I told you it was getting super weird. This is getting weird. It's getting super weird. But then the thing is that
already super weird.
Yeah, but the M. Night Shyamalan's you. So there's a moment when all of a sudden everything clicks, and you're like, "This was amazing! It wasn't weird." So it's like, but
there was a plan.
Yeah, there was plot. So like, there's people who are anime onlys at work, and they're like, "Yeah, it's so weird, and I don't really understand what's happening and all this stuff." And I'm like, just wait. They're just sitting there like, it's gonna get good, right? So yeah, so that's airing now, but it's not the dub for you. It's still a sub, but I'll let you know once the dubs start dropping. So that's when I likey. If you like anime. If you like the animes, Crunchyroll, Funimation, Verve, all things that High Dive, all anime podcast or all anime streaming services. So that's all I'm gonna choose.
Nice.
Yeah, anime. Thank you for listening to another You Don't Make Friends with Giant Squids podcast. I'm Squid.
And I'm Jackson.
And we'll see you guys in the next episode.
Bye.
Bye. Hey everyone, it's Squid. Congratulations on reaching the end of the video. I just wanted to thank our patrons for supporting us this month. If you want to become a patron, or if you want to find out more information about future updates or past projects, please follow the links below. If you enjoyed this video, please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you all in the next one. Later!